SEEYOUSOON is strong. Okay, get that. SEEYOUSOON is strong, but only before 15 minutes. With Shadow putting himself Bravest Warriors down onto the D7. He had to pop the Revitalize. The Great Dragon form is just going to be popping out, just going to be putting himself right in the face of KAYN. But it's not going to go into the Dragonoid form just yet. With a flicker coming from the side of Shadow, picks up a kill on the D7, opens up the RW and will be boxing 2% right within of the boxes. Doesn't seem like it's going to be stopping PP at this point in time though. But Sorian Felix finds himself in the future, especially when it comes down to this regular, playoff. But right now, we got KOUZEN putting himself right into the face of KAYN 1v1 only to take a pot shot to maybe like 3/4 of a HP. We also do have got the scythe that is coming out from the side of KAYN when it comes down to the Hunter Strike. So that is that. We got D7 getting himself with the AOG out of the game and out of the fight. KOUZEN is going to be hovering around the Turtle's Pit, but however, he does have half of the energy to work with. PP doesn't have a lot of HP to work with. KAYN gets himself a quick dash right out, gets a kill down. He does not have got the level advantage. He's almost at level 8 though, but KAYN is at level 9, so you can't win in this 50-50 fight in terms of retribution. D7 takes an L, and that is going to be another kill that's going to be credited over to KAYN. He takes the turtle down. Shadow down. Or rather, 2 items, you need that. Pro Esports open things up. RWM locking on an Acra, but KAYN will still be able to take down the turtle, and that's not a fight that Pro Esports want to put themselves into, unfortunately. So Sorian Felix will go down the 3rd time in a row. And KAYN opens up when it comes down to the Mountain Shocker and Acra. Oh, a very aggressive ultimate right into the face of the opponents. While the Purify is going to be used from the side of KOUZEN. The rest of the members from the side of SEEYOUSOON with the Mountain Shocker is just going to be slamming right underneath the and puts himself in a really tough spot. But I can understand because he's the initiator. He doesn't have the lockdown that he really needs as the initiator. So that's a tough point in time to really play and open things up for D7. So we'll see. Oh, what is that? 3-man AOG along with a lockdown coming from the side of RWM. All of them immobilized at the same. Probably going to be looking at some other stuff such as the Queen's Wings, for example. But there we go. The obscene amount of damage on some of these lockdown situations. And once they are able to lock them down, then payoff, you get a kill, you get a farm, and everything happens afterwards. Okay, that's dirty! Acra gets himself. I think that Pro Esports have got for themselves. This is gonna be rough because Donut is dealing so much damage over to the turret in the in T2. RWM plus the AOG combination is gonna be coming out once again, but it's not gonna do too much. 3-man started coming in! Coming in from the side of Shadow. Great play! All 5 men from the side of SEEYOUSOON is still available. In fact, Sorian Felix is already gonna be no damage. Sorian Felix has just been not be able to do too much as the initiator. All the damage that Pro Esports will want to bring out, they can't do anything. But finally, Pro Esports gets themselves a single kill. That's KOUZEN that managed to get the reward from that. And in fact, double kill. Or to fight back and drag the game to 15-16 minutes. But it's kind of hard because now we're just going to be opening things up when it comes down to the red carpet. There's a quick little knock-up coming in when it comes down to Lantern Flare. They're hoping to be able to get a kill down to D7, and in fact they will be able to with the RWM, and they will be locking the rest of the members to the start of SEEYOUSOON right into the box, hopefully to be able to keep the players alive. However, which is exactly what they're going to be doing here, and try to get themselves a more guaranteed win con. Oh, KOUZEN! In this game, and I don't blame him. It's just for anything. As long as he's not able to get a very good ramp in the early stages of the game, there's not much that you can do. The Lantern Flare connects down onto D7, rushing it off, and that is already going to be another person down. So we are looking at a little bit of comeback coming from the side of Pro Esports. 2 men down, 3 men down. It's a 3-4-2 at this point in time. And now Acra is going to go down to KOUZEN. 4 men down from a Yutong, to be fairly honest. But for now, he's just gonna go for a little swirly twirl right down the donut. Wasn't able to do too much as now he does not have Furious Dive. He's not gonna do anything. Probably leaving the Furious Dive for escape, only to find himself taken down again. What's going on with Sorian Felix? Something's really wrong with Sorian as he continues to slowly set himself off. That is gonna be the Mountain Shocker landing on the KOUZEN. SOD is not gonna land. Well, the RWM as well as the AOG is gonna be locking down an Acra. Sorian Felix just gonna be flying himself right into the face of Donut with a Furious Dive plus Petrify combo. He did manage to do a decent amount over to the side of Donut, so this is almost, there we go! A kill from the side of KOUZEN. One of the win con. Hylos is starting to creep in, right? With not much that a Hylos is realistically be able to do, is having a really tough time to do any form of crowd control or perhaps do anything. It's just a massive punching bag. As such, the AOG lands. And PP goes down to the hands of KOUZEN. KAYN was hoping to be able to do a little bit more. Takes him down. Akra, it's gonna be the next one onto the chopping block. And KOUZEN with a triple. Saw picks a double. 5-man knockout. See you soon. They had the game. They had the initiative. They had the early start. They broke down with a barrel wasteland over Style Pro Esports, and they lose at 18 minutes and 10 seconds. Killable at that point. So you can't really do too much to their Alice right there. But KOUZEN looking for the ramp that I was talking about. He did manage to ramp up. So any minute that Fanny don't get a kill is a minute that he's gonna be behind of KAYN. The TOR lands onto Donut, and that is gonna be the tectonic charge that lands on Donut, allowing the kill over to the... Well, for SEEYOUSOON, they have the Matilda. They can play very aggressively. But speaking of which, that's going to be KOUZEN that takes out the turtle. Shadow's just going to be putting himself right into the heart of their enemies. While unfortunately here is going to be SEEYOUSOON with the KOR down to the KAYN. KAYN is not dead just yet, but SEEYOUSOON is going to pay the price as he's going to go down to the hands of Donut. 2 kills for the side of SEEYOUSOON. Flicker on forward, very aggressive. Donut picks up a double. So far, Donut is doing a really good job when it comes down to this Brody. Not something that we see all the time at all, but hey, as long as it works, it's not stupid. KOUZEN completely chased out of lane through the proxy. And the rest of the members, when it comes down to TOR for the side of SEEYOUSOON, Felix didn't manage to land over top of KAYN. Gets that kill. Not a bounty kill though, but PP goes for the retaliation over to the side of SEEYOUSOON. Felix, that is a 2-for-1 trade between the... As for now, PP as well as Shadow is gonna go straight in. Quick land, quick crash. And quick flicker from the side of PP, hoping that he'll be able to get out of the dodge. But unfortunately, the TOR will catch him down. So will he catch onto Donut. But of course, the Flowing Blood re-engages and puts himself right into the face of Shadow to once again be the frontliner to ensure that KOUZEN is not going to be alone as they have already lost D7. Sorry, D7 does have Conceal. They're trying to engage onto something here. But right now, Shadow, he cuts between himself, or rather cuts between the front lines as well, in between of the back lines and the front lines of the side of Pro Esports. KAYN comes into the back, hoping they will be able to get a decent amount of damage over the side of KOUZEN on map to bring him down. Wasn't able to, but is able to kind of shove the rest behind. Sharing it together with Star. Shadow goes to the bravest warriors, puts himself right into the face. Right down over to SEEYOUSOON Felix on the TOR, hoping to be able to land a little bit. But now flicker from the side of KOUZEN to get himself right on the dodge. KOUZEN just going to be zooming all the way through, hoping to find one. And he's going to be finding Shadow. Shadow's still surviving, but not for long as KOUZEN picks him up. KAYN do have an advantage. And there we go, the tectonic charge manages to land over to the side of Shadow. There's not much that he can do as such. He's just gonna have to play parcel all the way from behind. Pro Esports, they are taking the lead. They're managing to get the kills down. KOUZEN gets one. KOUZEN, second one as well. Donut, he still have the immortality as such. He's not gonna be dead just yet. KOUZEN picks up a second one. So that is gonna be 20 stacks over to the Sky Piercer. This is what I'm talking about, Pro Esports. Always finding all these gold from absolutely nowhere. Finding all these wins from absolutely nowhere. As such, it's a 5-man stampede. KOUZEN puts Akra in the tough spot. It will still be a death of KOUZEN, but there's also gonna be a death of Donut. No creep waves. Marching down in the middle lane. Back home. Bottom lane is pushing out a little bit more. Saw gonna have to go back home to stop this. This might actually end. Will it actually end? Wait. Your own base. Your own base! Their own base! Their base! Oh my goodness! Victory! That's bloody illegal! I don't particularly think that Pro Esports drafting is bad though. This is a wombo combo lineup. And they are really darn strong in 5v5, so you gotta have to give them respect for that. As you can see right now, immediately with the RWM just gonna be popping right out. D7 does not have the AOG just yet, so you will not be able to extend the immobilization and into the knock-up into the immobilizations. As such, Sa will find himself taken down, and as per normal, that is going to be the turtle that will be taken from the side. So Felix now has got himself the enmity. KAYN looking for an opportunity right down here, and of course when it comes down to Shadow, it's just going to be popping himself right into the Black Dragon form, circling all the way around to the top side of this members of Pro Esports. 1 man down, 2 men down for the side of Pro Esports already, as SEEYOUSOON is now going to be traveling down on the Pro Esports, hoping that he will be able to AOG out, but 2 executor of here with the Black Dragon form, this is flying ahead Star pops up and opens the RWM. Donut will still take down the turret now. And now, sorry, I'm really hoping that he'll be able to get himself a quick run away while the heavy spin locks D7 over to the wall. One trade for nothing for now. While see you soon, flicker stun. But that's not gonna happen. All we see is a Black Dragon form that opens up, taking a little bit too much damage. Furious Guy's not going to be landing on anyone. What it means, the RWM coming from the side of Star just going to be locking 2% in, but it's not going to be mattering to the side of KAYN because of the fact that he does have a heavy spin. And of course, doesn't matter to Donut because he does have the crossbow of Tang and such. They're more than enough damage over the side of Star. And now see you soon. They're knocking on the doors of Pro Esports. 1v1 between, sorry, Felix as well. Donut. But Akira is the one that picks up the kill, Living Star. Or maybe he does have the Feather of Heaven as well. Yeah. He should have 3 of these items, yeah. He should have these 3 items. Feather of Heaven, Starlim Scythe, as well as the Holy Crystal. We'll see how far that will eventually help Pro Esports for now. As now the Lord is just going to be marching down to the bottom lane, just going to be following over to the side of Storium Felix. Middle lane TU3 destroyed. RWM opens up. PP gets taken down and pushed away. Akira brings D7 down. That is one for one trade as it is for now. With the top lane minions just going to be pushing in. The Winions is just going to be crashing on in. Not quite enough to bring down this turret though, but I think that they really want to force this out, which is not going to be a very... Talked about the 15 minutes timer on the side of See You Soon. The moment that they hit 15 minutes, they eventually kind of lose gas. As such, PP now finds himself half HP. That is going to be a tectonic shot that managed to land on the 3 people. Unfortunately for the side of D7, he had to use AOG to get himself running away while Star opens up the RWM. No one else to follow up with anymore. As such, Akira will bring down a kill over to the side of KOUZEN. 1 man down, make that 2 men down, 3 men down over the side of See You Soon. This is what I'm talking about. Pro Esports, triple kill. That was enabled only because of Storium Phoenix. So now the fight continues again. See You Soon is throwing bodies over to the side of Pro Esports. They did manage to get a kill down to KOUZEN again though. So right now, we'll see how that's going to work out with the Revitalize just going to be popping out for the side of D7. He re-engages now. Baron, RWM, Storium Felix in the middle of the fight. Winter Crown just going to be exceptional timing. Now he's going to be safe. The stun down on the PP only to be taken down by Akira once again. It sounds and seems as though Akira actually does have the Sky Piercer, to be fairly honest. Not very sure whether that's actually the case here. On all the way from 6,000 to 1,000. 1:16. There may be a very strong wave that's just going to be marching in from the bottom lane. Not sure whether that's going to do anything at all, but there we go. That is going to be the bottom lane T1 that will be taken down. The RWM pops up. Going to be locking down on the Donut for a tad while. Now, 2 of the ballistas just somewhere going to be here, or maybe just 1 ballistas now. AOG is not going to be landing on anyone at this point in time. The Winter Crown coming from the side of KAYN ensures that he was going to stay alive for a tad bit longer. D7 doesn't have a lot of HP to work with as such. With all the immortality is already going to be popped, so this is going to be big! KOUZEN now takes the kill down over to Shadow. With 1 man down for the side of See You Soon already, this is going to be bad. As now Pro Esports might have an advantage. Now is of course going to be the heavy spin. Is hoping they will be able to do something over to the side of Star, but that's not going to do anything. There's 3 men down for the side of See You Soon. Donut hopes to hop away. Just a little bit more hops up, but he gets taken down. Clipped at the end of work. This is a wobble combo that works as such. 4 members are going to be crashing themselves down. And now, of course, Mount Shocker will be able to land on the Akira. Nothing that Akira could do, but with the crowd himself, Pro Esports takes another win. That matters right now. But you're not. Now we do have like 4 members from the start of See You Soon all the way up the top. That is a good nature's barrier. Actually, just going to be locking Storium Felix as well as D7 out, but they're not going to be committing all over to that. Storium Felix flickers out, and of course, just going to go straight back in with a Soul Falling Star Moon. And they fought back. Oh my god, KOUZEN! He's going to be in a tough spot, but it doesn't seem like he will be taken down just yet. The rough waves down quite a bit over to the side of PB as Star joined in the fray. KOUZEN helped out, but Azu is the one that picked up the double kill. Storium Felix holding the front lines is exactly what I was pushing out of the way. Making sure that he's not to be able to do anything from this point onwards. Or for the start, the Praiser's Wrath has been used. and that is going to be a take from the side of KAYN. Azu finds himself taken down. It's not bounty kill as of yet, so it's still going to be second lease of life in trying to fight out for the turtle. As now, Torian Felix now half spot. It is going to be the rough wave, just going to be connecting all down on the KAYN. KAYN is going to be completely out of commission. The TOR lands over to the side of D7, and Azar still went down over to the side of Acura because of that RWM. Now, Torian Felix understands the current situation. He's just going to be peeling off a little bit more for the side of D7, but wrong, and a very heavy wave down in the bottom lane. And there we go. It's just going to be a crash down coming from the side of Pro Esports right in the face of KAYN. As such, it's going to be more members that's just going to be taking the L. Torian Felix a little bit far ahead, but it's not possibly going to go down that easily. Okay, never mind. He is going to go down. Oh, wait on a second. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, he's still dead. He's still dead. It's to regather once again. With KAYN immobilized and taking quite a bit of damage with quite a bit of that grey health. Rough waves has already been used, and that is just going to be go time for the side of Acura because there's no more rough waves. As such, even when it comes down to Galakacha, he will be taken down. See you soon. They're fighting back nicely, and they are looking for the right timing as well. As such, Donut picks up. KAYN does not have a lot of grey HP to work with, so this is a... Oh, Donut takes the Lord down! But that's not good for SEEYOUSOON because right now D7 is just AOG right in. In fact, D7 now with a revitalize. He pulls the members from the side of SEEYOUSOON to him for a tad little bit. So we don't have any lane, natural lane control as of yet. But it does seem as though we do have a little bit of a slow push down to the bottom lane, while in the meantime, KOUZEN picks up a kill down to the KAYN right here in the middle lane. AOT is going to happen, but we don't have a taunt as of yet. D7 don't have the taunt. He's not taunting Acura as of yet just now. But now we got a little bit more, as now Donut pops down when it comes down to Zaman Force. He's not going to be stopped just yet until now, as Azu finally dealt something over to the side of Donut, while Torian Felix is going to be racking up and stealing all those shields away over from Donut. Exactly the kind of outcome I would expect from the side of Pro Esports, with someone else come in and help in order to do something. So the Falling Sum is not going to land. As such, this is going to be the win of Pro Esports, a 3-1 victory. As such, the play-in is over for SEEYOUSOON. The play-in is over for Pro Esports, as Pro Esports now move on over to the playoffs, and they will stand to meet the other playoff teams. Commiserations over to SEEYOUSOON, as they have met the end of their journey here at MPL Cambodia Season 9. It's a touching and difficult moment for the players. SEEYOUSOON definitely did not expect an outcome like this.